Hello, everyone, and welcome to a fresh episode of Pairfect, the show that links you up with the leading figures in social work in our world. I am Dinah Ventura.
And I am Jojo Silvestre.
Today, we'd like you to meet a woman who gave up a successful business to help the least fortunate communities survive by their own efforts.
This is what we found out about her, courtesy of an article on Positively Filipino. But of course, we're going to find out more today.
Yes.
She had always lived a comfortable life. Upon graduation from the University of the Philippines, she launched a successful manufacturing business for fashion collections produced by famous designers. This business thrived for 30 years. Her social environment consisted of the wealthy and mighty. At some point, this did not feel enough. Let's find out why. Welcome to our show, Miss Vicky Wieneke, founder of Kabisig ng Lahi.
Kalahi.
Welcome po. Ng Kalahi, I should say.
Welcome to Pairfect. Ang
Hi,
galing ng-
everybody. I'm
Okay.
so honored to be here and share my some
Story.
stories of my life.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
let's start.
Okay.
What is Kabisig ng Kalahi? Let's start with what you do now. When did you establish it and how was it when you started out?
Okay, Kabisig ng Kalahi has been running for the last more than 2 decades na.
Okay.
Wow.
So 23 years. I started it in way back in 2000 when Dinky Soliman was the secretary of DSWD.
Yeah.
And ano kaya? Let me start from
Yeah.
why and how, no? During the storming of Malacanang,
Okay,
one time during
86.
Eric's time, I was in the
Ah,
States.
2001.
No, 2000.
Okay.
I was in the
America.
States, and I could see the things that were happening in the country, and I was so touched and said, what's this? I can, and of course there were some angers. I could see the issues that were coming up, and I was telling myself, I can also be there to correct some injustices,
Yeah.
but why add to the noise
Okay.
when I think I would like to do something positive instead.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's when I researched and said, I'm going to do community building and work with the marginalized because they're the ones who need it the most.
Okay.
So that's how
and
it
very
started.
quietly also,
Yes.
no?
What did you first have in mind? Were you thinking of food or?
I've always loved children. And I know that, I see these street children. They're a sorry lot too, no? But I was more concerned about the future of malnourished children. Kasi ano yan they're the future of
Yes,
our country.
yes.
And at that time, I think what was being given to them, they're quiet They're quiet, they do not make noise, so
Yes.
hindi sila napapansin.
They
di
don't
ba?
demand
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. And so I said maybe we can do a program instead of just giving them parang limos.
Yes, yes.
Giving them mga saging sabay and lugaw. I wanted a more structured program that had a beginning and a result. And so I researched and I put together a program, and I didn't even know Dinky at the time. I looked for a friend who knew her, and I asked to be introduced. And so I said, I have this program, I would like to do it with you. If you can give me technical support and reach, I'll take care of the budget, the financing of the program. And of course, the first one from me, personal
okay.
money, no? But, okay, so that's what we did.
Was
She
that just for a
assigned-
small group? For like how many children?
Pilot muna
O, ilan
so,
sila?
naghanap siya ng lugar. Sabi niya, this place is a marginalized group and
Okay.
maybe you can put the program there. And so I did with a social worker who is now an assistant regional director of Calabar Zone, si Ricky Bunao.
Okay.
He was with me, we put it together, and yun nga, as I said, may baseline data, may monitoring, and it's not a dole out because the mothers do the work counterpart. the parents.
That's the difference, di ba?
Tatrabaho sila. So, ino-organize sila, they become, and you know, after the program, they become so involved in the community that they become volunteers on the ground. So that's one other
Ang
nice
galing.
thing that happens
Yeah.
in the program.
They don't just wait for help now. They can help themselves na. Parang
Yeah.
gano'n. They start to
At saka kung ano
want
man
to help
yung,
themselves.
ano kasi sila nagluluto, they do the marketing, the cooking, and they're organized as, they have, there's a president, vice president,
Ay,
somebody
galing.
who takes care of
Wow.
the money, the treasurer. We did it talagang medyo very, very structured.
May organization then.
Yes.
They're learning.
Yes, there was that,
Oh, yeah.
di ba, input. And not only that, because it runs for 6 months, 120 days, that's a good time for you to bring in values formation. So required yon from the LGU side. Look,
Yes.
we're giving this program to your constituents. Why don't you, partner with us, support it, and let's do the values formation. And together with DSWD social workers, we put together many values formation, pagmamahal sa bayan, taking care of your environment, how to solve problems, yung mga ganon.
Yeah, very good.
In fact, that became a good source of that they were able to distribute it to many LGUs who used it
That
and
formula.
added pa yun, civic values formation.
Okay. So,
Ayan.
you're saying that when you go to a community, you stay with them for a while so that this...
The program stays
okay.
for 6 months.
Okay.
We don't do the work
Yes.
part,
but you
no, it's the
put it in
mothers.
place.
But there's always a focal because nga the LGU comes in with us as a support.
Okay.
They assign, they tell us what barangay needs it, and the barangay assigns a focal person who
Okay.
will do the legwork.
Okay. I
And
see.
then DSWD regional or they go down to organize it. Yung social preparation, we call it, is there. And it's easy to implement it because we give everything, even the forms. You don't have to to invent it or to put it together without help, no? Even the forms, you just have to follow the step-by-step thing.
I
Yeah.
see.
So it worked very well.
But Dinah, would
Jojo.
you believe that she had a different kind of life before she became very active in Kabisig? So tell us about that part of your life when you were socializing and being very much involved in
Fashion.
Philippine fashion. Yes,
How?
it's very interesting.
Well, I had many good friends that have stayed my friends even up to now. So that helps in the networking, di ba?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
develop good relationship with
Yeah.
friends. But I was always into something else more than the socialization.
Yeah, but what about the fashion thing? Because
The
you really
fashion-
made a, you were very
yes,
successful.
yes, very-
Tell us about that.
I loved it. I met many very, very talented people, very creative people, and I loved that circle. I learned a lot. It was a learning for me too.
What
you know.
brands did you produce?
I was doing my own big brand was Panache with Chona Casten,
Okay.
and then I did also Uncline, the local Uncline.
wow.
I was
Producing that.
Yes,
Okay.
I worked with Jordan at Sea for their many lines, many brands.
Okay.
And I was doing Bayleaf of Lini Laurel.
Yes.
Iba-ibang depende sa creativity nung the icon behind it, no?
Okay.
So I was doing Meg Paris, Rico
Okay.
Salandanan,
Wow.
si Criselda also, some of
Yeah.
Criselda's.
Okay. You would
clothes.
manufacture
I would
her
manufacture
designs.
their designs, but I would do the manufacturing.
Okay.
It sounds like fun. Well, that must
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
fun.
And you, Oji,
good.
you said
Oji Cordero, two
All these names that you know.
designers. Two designers at that time who wanted to go into RTW. Kasi mga
Okay.
couture yan di ba?
Oo nga. Custom.
Ernest Santiago and Oji Cordero.
The best. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Galing.
So, I was in, my work, if I may call it that, miski design nila and brand nila.
Oo.
But the dresses were in, the outlets were in the big department stores. Rustan at that time had not only the Rustan Makati, meron dyan sa Quezon City, meron pa sila sa
Harrison
South.
Plaza.
Harrison Plaza, yeah.
Yeah.
And also SN. Bayleaf was in SN. And Landmark also, si Rico Salandanan in Meg Paris were in,
They sold well, no?
Meg
very
Paris.
well, very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And and Cinderella also. Cinderella, I think Oji Cordero and Ernest Santiago were there at one time.
Okay.
So, yun.
Galing, no? That was a world that
Yeah.
this
Ibang
a
mundo.
bit lost now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And at that time, talagang there was a market for this brand RTW.
Local.
Wala pa yung mga mga murang RTW from Thailand and from China. Hindi pa ganon eh.
Yes,
So
that's
they
what I
really had
mean,
their place in our market.
That's right.
Yeah. Tapos ngayon, lahat na elsewhere. No? Okay. But
How
what,
sad, no?
Yeah. But what made you give up that world to go into something completely different, a different set of people? Kumbaga? What was the turning point? What made you do that?
Well, my children were done with their studies here, and they were all abroad already, and what they call this, studying there, and I couldn't take a long time off to be with them.
Okay.
So I said, teka muna, napakahirap nitong trabaho ko. Bakit ba ako nagpapakahirap? Total, ang dami namang pwedeng gumawa noon, no? So I said, teka muna, for myself naman, for my family.
Okay.
So I looked for somebody who could take over the business.
Okay.
And not knowing that yung papasukan ko palang isa, mas matrabaho ko sa ginawa ko.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So from one, it was just a different field. But,
Something
I'm
that you...
so glad that I took this on. I would consider this a calling from our Lord because I became also very, very spiritual.
Okay.
And I accepted it as a calling, and I said, okay, I'll help naman.
You embraced the life.
I'm done with bringing up my children. They're all okay. They're all good people with their own families. So let me do what I can for those who are marginalized. That's why I went into it.
You have a far reach, no? Like very extensive.
Very, very extensive.
Yeah.
Because of the partnership with National Government Agency.
Okay, so where you found your projects?
I started in Makati.
Okay.
I think my first one was in Sembo, and then we went to Pasig. Basta muna, NCR,
Metro Manila.
But then Jollibee was the one. Jollibee was with us also, one of my partners, funders. And they said, let's go elsewhere. Let's bring it out.
Out of Metro
out
Manila.
Of Metro Manila.
Yes.
And so, okay. So that's what we did. I asked the SWD if we can use the regional touch base, no, to bring the program elsewhere. And of course, gladly we did. So we were going to Basilan at the time when there was a war there.
Wow.
I would go to Kalinga, Apayao,
Yeah.
where there were headhunters pa raw in the boondocks.
Oh my
So yung ganon, it was an adventure. It was an adventure. I thought it was good for the soul. It made me grow and realize how blessed I am and that I should really be thankful to the Lord and give what I can give.
Ano po ba ito? A feeding program? What is given to the kids?
Okay. Ang tingin kasi namin, ang tingin ko noon, itong mga batang ito, pagka malnourished ito, the brain and body development will be hampered.
Okay.
And so, itong future natin eh. So they need
Nutrition.
help. And so that's why we put together the program where there's a baseline data, merong monitoring, hanggang makita natin yung katapusan. And this, tapos pa, merong community development because involved, ang daming mata, ang daming taong kasali.
But what is served to them?
Okay.
There's usually lugaw, but you went beyond lugaw.
No, what I did was I asked the head dietitian of nutritionist of the SWD to put together yung pinakamurang menu na pwedeng gamitin ulit sa bahay.
Okay.
Pero kailangan nutritious. And so, kailangan yung RENI and calorie nakasulat doon. Kung
Galing,
ilan.
ano?
Okay.
So, kailangan
To the
fit
last detail.
for that age group.
Okay.
And so, that's what we did.
For the
Tapos,
home or for the school?
For the school.
Okay.
Yun ang siniserve sa kanila. Yun ang niluluto ng mga nanay. Pero kasi, niluluto ng mga nanay, naiuwi nila yung kaalaman na yun sa
Bahay
family
nila.
nila. Hindi ba?
Oo.
In fact, yung menu na yan, it was a 28 cycle menu using yung the
Ayun.
ordinary, mga munggo, mga
Oo.
at mura. At that
Oo,
time when we
sarap.
started, parang it was, if I'm not mistaken, 7.50 per serving.
Wow.
7 pesos 50 centavos. The first budget for one module of 30 children was, I think, 45,000.
Okay.
And that's
How many days
120
yan?
days feeding
ang dami,
every day. Pagkatapos, sabi namin, tinuturuan din yung mga nanay na mag-plant kayo.
Yeah.
Lalo na malunggay, yung gano'n.
Oo,
At
madadali
pagka may
lang.
ani sila, bili ninyo, kasi sila nagmamaneho
Yeah.
ng budget eh.
Mm-mm.
Bili ninyo yung kanilang
Produkto.
ani
Mm.
and use it. So that may konting kita naman sila. At ganado sila syempre, no?
Oo nga.
Na miski paano nakakatulong sa kanilang budget.
Ano yun, after the cycle, uulitin na naman? Ganun. It
Hindi,
went on.
alam mo, ganito, the baseline data,
Oo.
no? Pagkatapos, merong terminal result. Sa terminal result, wini-weigh sila eh. Mini-measure at wini-weigh.
Oo.
So, alam mong walang,
Nag-improve.
hindi imagination lang yan.
Oo.
Talagang true data.
Mm-mm.
And, at saka ang daming tumitingin, merong team na
Checking.
nakatutok doon
Oo.
sa result.
There.
And kinokolate yan ng DSWD nung una. At yearly result of the many areas where we were, ang substantial weight gain was 98 to 100%. Would you
Wow.
believe?
Ang galing.
And tapos ang nagiging normal was anywhere from 75% to 95%. Merong mas malaking ano kasi
Malaki.
kung minsan merong sakit, ibang ano no, dynamics come into play.
Yeah.
And then also the dropout rate for those enrolled in the program was less than 1%. Pointed.
So they
Nakita
stay
rin ng
with it.
DepEd dyan. So when we proposed the DepEd fitting program during the time of Jesli Lapus, kasama ko ang National Competitiveness Council, NCC, that's a sub-agency of DTI. And they came in because they said, alam mo, this is important for human resource development.
Yeah.
And because we are in that kind of work, gusto natin tumaas yung competitiveness, yan ang mga future workers natin.
Correct.
We'll go with you in this.
Okay.
And so, ganun din, pasok ulit kami. Nakita ngayon na dun sa terminal report that the dropout rate was less than 1%. Na, point 10, hindi ba?
Halos
Sabi,
wala.
this is what is needed to make them stay in school.
Yes.
And so, they proposed it as a institutional program to the government.
That was all your design.
That was, sinasabi ng Health Nutrition Council nung araw ng DepEd, ma'am, ito yung programa natin. Let's see how else we can make it grow.
Ayun.
And so, nung first year or two, parang hinihingi nila yung budget. Pagkatapos naging low. So
Okay.
ngayon,
May
meron na
budget
tayong
that's
law
good.
na for... Kaya lang, dumating si pandemic. So nawala yung the way it was conducted, di ba? Hindi na pwedeng face-to-face. Rasyon-rasyon na lang. So it's not the same.
Yes.
So ang numbers ulit ng malnourished, tumaas.
Tumaas ulit.
Tumaas
Okay.
ulit.
So now you have
And
to get back
that's
there.
when we thought we need something else. And that's when the other program came in, yung food share program.
But before we go
Okay.
into that, let's
Yeah.
just take
Ang
a
dami
little
kong
break,
kwento.
shall we? Pairfect will be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
This break is brought to you by Angkas, Beat the Traffic, Bayad Center, #Bigger Better Younger Bayad, and you can buy it all. Conti's Bake Shop and Restaurant, delightfully yours. Globe, atin ang mundo. Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart, live more today. Union Bank, it starts with you. And Tata Consultancy Services. Straight Talk dives deep into present issues of leadership, politics, business, and more. Engage in insightful conversations with industry shakers, government leaders, and trailblazers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. A wellness show dedicated to empowering viewers with the knowledge and inspiration needed to lead a healthy lifestyle. Be Well Now, hosted by Miss Cory Crino, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. only here at Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. Parayan at talakayang showbiz, times 2, doble-doble! Kasama ang dalawa sa walang kupas na talakera ng showbiz, Alwin Ignacio at Alex Brosas. DTT Show, tuwing Sabado at Linggo, alas 4 ng hapon, dito lang sa Diaryo Tirada ng Daily Tribune. Creative minds, entertainment icons, style influencers. We shine the spotlight on remarkable individuals who shape our cultural landscape. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m., only here in Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
And so we're back, and Miss Vicky Wieneke is sharing with us the latest about
Kabisig ng Kalahi.
ng Kalahi.
Yes.
So, ano po yung bago ninyo na as a result of the pandemic
Okay,
na
so
medyo
nagkaroon ng
bumaba?
COVID,
Opo.
so there was hunger, there was loss of jobs. So we put together a program. Alam mo, actually, nakakatuwa pag hindi naman talaga God sent. An international company asked to meet with me, asked for a Zoom meeting. They heard about these, yung mga pantry,
community pantry.
maganda. Ano they bought a company here, Rekit Benkiser. They bought a company here, and they wanted some local presence felt, no? Makilala naman sila dito. And they said, sige, we'll work with you, let's do some work for the poor. And they were thinking now of giving, opening tiendas and give food to the hungry.
Yeah.
But I said, mauubusan ka ng ibibigay, hindi yung hihingi, hindi mauubos yan. And then what? Wala tayong ipapakita. We want something with the result. So let me put together a program and we can work on it. And so I did the food share program where we established a platform for easy structured flow of not only donations but activities on the ground. Kasi nga may loss of jobs, mayroong nahihirapan sa school dahil nagsara yung mga eskwela, nahihirapan yung mga bata, yung mga ganon. Maraming nakikitang pangangailangan sa community. And so we did the food share program. Ang unang-una is bigyan natin ng staple, bigas, pang-alis ng gutom. Ngayon, yung nawawalan ng trabaho, titignan natin, bibigyan natin ng skills. So that Pero merong pagka pumasok tayo, merong pledge to work. At kailangan magtatrabaho sila, hindi lang sila tatanggap yung mga beneficiaries natin. Pino-profile namin yan. May profile form na sinasubmit. And I presented it also again to DSWD and NCR muna kasi yung pilot namin 50 barangays in Metro Manila. And DSWD wrote the mayors and said, we're coming in with a program called this, can you support? And so we had a meeting with all the city social welfare officers and municipal officers, and we explained the program and all of them said yes. Okay, so we did 50. In fact, I
50
have
barangays.
50 barangays, selected barangays. Sila nang bahalang magbigay sa amin ng barangay. Kung ano yung, kasi
So
silang
that's
may
the
alam
role.
nung kanilang mga...
Yun yung role ng government dito
Yes,
sa program. Okay.
At saka kaya I think it works well is because of the partnership. Kung kami lang, mahihirapan kami. Kung sila lang din,
Mahirapan sila. Wala silang program.
mahihirapan. Hindi naman, kundi nakikita nilang magandang pangdagdag sa ginagawa na nila.
Okay.
And so they always support. So,
Alright.
ganun.
Okay.
At saka nga, sa katagalan naming working together, we've established a good relationship with many, many LGUs. And so that's when we did that. And we saw that the success of the program was so evident that we decided, alika, yung gardening natin, kakaunti ang lupa dito sa Metro Manila, ilabas natin. malay natin maging food basket, pandagdag ng,
that's true.
ng pagkain. And so we went to Calabar Zone and Mimaropa.
Okay.
And of course, the regional office of DSWD was with us and very, very
Supportive.
porsigido. I think they loved the program as much as we all did.
Yeah, nga. I can see that you're really very enthusiastic and happy about what you're doing. Yeah. So what is it about this advocacy that drives you, that keeps you going? I know
see
it's
the
very
good
hard work.
No, it is very hard work, and always I hear from comments of peers, no? Eh di happy ka kasi alam mo, ewan ko kung happy ang tawag mo doon. Of course, I'm glad to see the result, but it's really hard work. When you work with poor communities, there's always some issue to resolve.
I know.
So, umaga pa lang, nag-aano na ako ng problema sa baba, hindi ba? Nag-aayos na. That's why I am very, very kapit kay Lord. Because I think that's where I get my patience and my acceptance of things. And so, hindi ko binibitawan yung aking prayer life.
Okay.
So, that's how it is.
So doing this somehow changed you also as a person?
I think so. Slowly, hindi ko naman at saka hindi ko naman sinasadyang palitan mo ko, Lord, ano? Basta nakikita mo kasi nag-iibang priorities mo, nag-iiba you accept things, you become, you see all the problems in the world, and you see also all the blessings in the world, and you know that to just move forward, you have to be consistent in your patience and acceptance. And the solutions will come.
I'm sure you have received lots of awards, no? Like you've been recognized by all these bodies and all. I understand you have, Kabisig has received as many as 100 awards,
More.
citations,
More.
more.
And-
So, what are you proudest of? What was the latest that you received?
Alam mo, I'm proud of the results that I see.
Okay.
The award is, of course, extra icing on the cake. But I think, I don't know, I cannot choose one over the
Talagang
other.
sino po ba ang mga nagbigay? Ano po ba ang mga natanggap niyo na?
Nag-umpisa pa lahat ng presidenteng time.
Okay.
Wala pa ako dito sa current, but yung iba kasi ginagawa nila through DSWD.
Okay.
Merong pasasalamat award or nung nag-umpisa si President Gloria invited us in Malacanang and did it there during the time of Dinky nga. And hindi lang yon, pati mga LGU who are happy with the program also give awards just to say thank you to us.
You should have a library or something to put all of this together.
Para sa akin nga, dapat ako magbigay ng award sa kanila for being there with us and helping their people, their constituents. Kaya lang, sorry kasi ang dami kong trabaho.
So, which brings me to my next question. What are you working on now? What's keeping you busy?
Ano ba?
With
It's
Kabisig?
growing, this food share program. Sabi ko, nasa Mimaropa and Calabar Zone, no? But we now have requests from many others. We're now in Region 5, Region 6. Merong mga nagre-request from Cebu, from Iloilo, from Nueva Ecija. So, sana nga kagad mabigay namin lahat. Pero may groundwork na kailangan So, we're doing it more conscientiously and slowly but surely.
Okay. And you're there in all of the places that you have the
The
facilities.
alam mo, napaka-structured nung way to run it. At saka pati yung flow down to the communities is very, very structured. So, hindi kami nahihirapan.
Okay.
And siguro rin yung mga LGU nakikita nila, bakit ba hindi? Tulong ito sa aming community. At ang maganda pa, may plataforma, no? I sit also in NEDA.
Okay.
And in Calabar Zone, and nakaupo dyan lahat ng mga national government agencies. Kung minsan nare-report, nag-share kami ng mga good things happening. So pati sila, nakikita at nako-connect sa ibang mga national government agencies. Ang DOST nagbibigay ng mga technology for food preservation, for sa mga fisheries, tapos meron kaming mga mangrove development, pati climate change, pinasukan na namin. Pag yung community na yan, merong posibilidad for forest development and mangrove development, let's do it. At maganda, libre yung, hindi ka magbabayad ng, labor. Because yung mismong mga tao namin,
Residents.
beneficiaries, o sige, ma'am, kaming gagawa. Tinutulungan namin sila with kung may materials na kailangan, yung ganon. Pero sila talagang kumikilos. Talagang helping themselves. And that's what we like
That's what we want.
about the program.
The inevitable question now comes. Kailan po kayo tatakbong mayor o congressman?
Ay, naku, hindi. Never. Never. For everybody's, I'm 80 years old and
But you
just
look-
trying to do what I can in the time left for me to be here.
What has kept
this
you young? But ano ang sikreto ninyo?
Oo nga.
Ewan ko, siguro kasi pirme kong active, so maliksi pa ako.
Okay.
Never mind na the looks, hindi ba? Hindi naman ako masyadong...
But you look good.
But, yun, I think the energy is there because
Yeah, and the spiritual fulfillment, I guess. No, but let's get more tips from
Yeah.
Miss Vicky. When we
Okay.
return, let's take another break. We'll be right
Yeah.
back.
Creative minds, entertainment icons, style influencers. We shine the spotlight on remarkable individuals who shape our cultural landscape. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m., only here in Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. This break is brought to you by Angkas, Beat the Traffic, Bayad Center, hashtag Bigger Better Younger Bayad, and you can buy it all. Conti's Bake Shop and Restaurant, delightfully yours. Globe, atin ang mundo. Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart, live more today. Union Bank, it starts with you. And Tata Consultancy Services. Straight Talk dives deep into present issues of leadership, politics, business, and more. Engage in insightful conversations with industry shakers, government leaders, and trailblazers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. A wellness show dedicated to empowering viewers with the knowledge and inspiration needed to lead a healthy lifestyle. Be Well Now, hosted by Miss Cory Crino, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. only here at Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
We're back on Pairfect, and with us today is Vicky Wieneke, founder of Kabisig ng Kalahi. Okay, so before we had the commercial break,
Yeah.
we were talking about what keeps you young,
Yes.
di ba? What do you do outside of work? What do you
Yeah.
do you
right
take
now,
breaks?
it occupies really most of my time. And as I said, prayer time is always there. Hindi ko inaalis yun, miski gaano ko kabisi. But hardly any socials. And kasi my family, 3 of my children are abroad. And only one is here who is very, very busy also with his work. And so we Zoom meet once a week. But hindi masyadong I don't put that much time. Ibig sabihin, marami akong time for work and my spiritual,
Okay.
Miski na in my mind, ang family ko always
There.
There.
They're always there naman for you.
as a priority. Yung ganon.
Okay. So, do you miss the world of fashion?
The glamour.
Not at all.
Okay.
Would you believe, I don't even shop anymore. Anong araw,
really?
syempre, tuwan-tuwa ako pag nakakakita ko ng fashion, good designs.
Oo, ngayon.
Don't even,
Really.
No
But
more
even
na.
shop anymore.
like you have a beautiful... okay, okay.
Old.
Because she chooses the classics.
Oo,
Classic
it
eh.
lasts.
Oo,
She
na,
can wear it
miski 20 years
anytime.
na, hindi pa
Maluma.
pwede pang gamitin.
May naitabi ka bang mga panache?
Meron pa. Would you believe? Meron pa. And I hear it from peers, ha? All this
They've
like
kept-
me. Alam mo, meron pa akong panache. Talaga? Siyempre, happy ako. Yeah.
Ang galing. That means quality, high quality.
Was it Chona who was designing it? She was on top of the design.
She was the icon behind it,
Okay.
but we had in-house designers who were doing
Yeah, the
the
sketching
the
and-
sketching and
Siya yung
ganon.
aesthetic. Siya yung inspiration for
Direction
the look.
siguro.
Okay.
Siyempre, marami siyang tips that we
Oo,
follow.
syempre.
And of course, when you say Chona Casten, kagad-kagad, wow. You know,
Yeah.
top of the
Beautiful,
line
yeah.
fashion.
Oh,
That's
high
right. Yeah.
end. Okay, Jojo, I really enjoyed
Yeah.
talking with our guest
Of
today,
course.
Vicky,
Vicky.
whom I am proud to call my sister.
Yes.
She is also a Sigma Delta like me, and
Yes. No
super
wonder.
proud. So thank you very much for gracing our show today.
Yes.
We really
Naku,
learned a
Thank you
lot.
for inviting me.
There's so
It's an
much to
honor.
talk about.
I know,
pa.
di ba? After. Okay, but for now, we'll say goodbye, and perhaps you'd like to say something
Yeah.
before we end the show?
Oo. To ask for support.
Yeah.
I think let's all do what we can for our country. There's so many issues that we see, we read, the social media, ang dami nating problema. No? Actually, hindi lang naman Pilipinas, pati ang mundo. And
Okay.
so, I think whatever good we do is good energy brought out there. And panglaban sa mga bad energy nandun. So just do what you can for our country and for humanity.
Okay.
Walang maliit. Lahat ng good deeds is
Worthwhile.
worth it.
Opo.
Ganda. I think
Yes,
that's a
thank
very
you so
inspiring
much.
message. Thank you very much for reminding all of us
Yes,
to do that,
yes.
di ba?
Kahit maliit. Wala namang maliit.
Oo.
Walang
Oo.
maliit. Pare-pareho yan. Basta
Yeah.
good deed, good intention.
Yeah, and here's somebody who actually went out there and did something. She saw
Yes.
something
Yeah.
on television, the news, di ba? She was out of the country and then
Yeah.
she decided to do something about
Yes.
it. A lesson for all of us.
Wait, I forgot to mention something.
Okay.
Naku, I should not. You know, kasi Unilever was my institutional partner for a long time. Eh, hindi ko ata nabanggit
Yeah,
hanggang
hindi nga
yun,
po.
hindi ba? Kasi hindi ko
Okay.
naman iniisa-isa yung mga
Tumutulong.
partners ko.
Opo.
But they were with us for more than 20 years. Can you
Wow.
imagine? Kaya siguro, kaya lumaki din kasi alam kong nandyan sila.
Opo, opo. Ang galing naman.
So maraming salamat.
Okay, so thank you everybody.
And
Thank
the
you.
others.
Yes, all the others, all the people
the
who,
others.
who helped.
Yes, and a lot of them.
A lot of them. Thank you very much. And also thank you everyone for watching Pairfect this afternoon. I am Dinah Ventura.
And I am Jojo Silvestre. And this has been another episode of
Pairfect.
Thank you.